But you may not have seen as much of Tony Abbott, the former member for Warringah and our Prime Minister. He was in Adelaide recently, and interestingly enough, he was appointed in more recent months to the UK Board of Trade. Many thought this would be good for Australia. It would open the way with Dan Tehan visiting recently for Australia to sign a free trade agreement. Hasn't happened, and there is talk about whether or not this would benefit Australia, with the critical statistics indicating that we may be a net importer from the UK under a trade deal. It may be that our beef, sheep and wine would be the big winners, which generally we look at agriculture, but the UK exported food and drink products worth £425 million to Australia in 2020, while importing about $384 million worth of Australian food and drink, according to the analysis by HMRC, and that this is also including the Food and Drink Federation. Wine accounted for the lion's share of imports from Australia, worth $280 million, with lamb and mutton imports worth $46 million in second place. So it's interesting that the farmers in Britain, in an article in The Guardian, have said that they're concerned about Australia and our farming products, and they've warned that it could cause damage to UK agriculture. Their National Farmers Union assembled leaders politically and from other sectors across the 4 different nations that have all come out with Brexit. We're talking there of Northern Ireland and Scotland and Wales and England. And their Trade Secretary Liz Truss is looking at, particularly as we head towards the G7 summit, about where that leaves Britain with an Australian deal. Now, it could be crucial that a free trade agreement is signed with Australia, including the fact that they've lost a lot of access to certain markets that they would have had about being part of the EU. UK farmers, though, they fear soaring imports of cheaper Australian beef, lamb and sugar, and as a result they're warning of implications for animal welfare and environmental standards. Isn't that incredible? Here we have the farmers in England basically saying that we're scared of Australian lamb because they have an animal welfare problem. That is an incredible attack on Australian farming. Wow, to think that this has been stated. Will Tony Abbott draw that one out? Will he defend Australia's welfare standards as being amongst the best in the world when it comes to the way in which our cattle and sheep are raised and so on? It appears to be more about the UK farmers' fear of the Australian product. And again, it may be like the emerging of an Ashes series where we hear a lot of threat and the bluster from the UK. And then when we get out on the field, we beat them 5-0. I guess on our soil, it might be different. On their soil, we'll see whether we get to trade at an advantage or whether under Brexit we don't actually get any benefit, which was the whole reason I thought for Dan Tehan being over there recently.